Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in their voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, they're breaking the mold. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're all foes can't fight. From sports to politics.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Ken, how you doing this morning?
Oh, not too bad. Actually woke up at a normal time. I was up at 7 today and not fucking 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that's always a positive.
Yeah. Like the past 2 weeks, I've been waking up super freaking early. So I'm going to count this as a win. I might actually have a little bit of energy today.
What?
Yeah, I know. Hey, good morning there, Fred.
Morning, Fred.
Good morning, Bill.
Someone check that man for drugs. Got energy. We'll see what kind of energy we bring here this morning.
I was going to say, not that kind of energy.
Oh, my goodness. So yesterday, Troy Aikman, oh my God. So Troy Aikman, of course, just on Monday night, every opportunity he had to bash the Bears, he took it. Bears Twitter responded in kind yesterday. And was it just, yeah. They were comparing Troy Aikman, and there were multiple posts by multiple ex-users comparing Troy Aikman to the carousel quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, Tony Romo. I mean, just all kinds of guys who never won Super Bowls, whatever, and they all have better numbers than Troy Aikman, proving that Troy Aikman is the worst quarterback in the history of the league to be in the NFL.
He's not the worst to be in the NFL. He's the worst to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm sorry, I misspoke there. I'm still sending this out to all the different communities as we speak. Sorry, multitasking. Us old guys. But yeah,
he was the original Dilfer. He Dilfered his way into a Hall of Fame career before Dilfer actually Dilfered his way in.
This guy, and what made it worse was for DeAndre Swift's touchdown. Oh well, they just got lucky. He broke a dude's ankles to get open, then he broke a tackle. Yeah, and Caleb made a great throw. Okay, it's all just luck.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he used to dog Rodgers all the freaking time, and we're talking prime Rodgers, where there wasn't too much to bitch about, and he'd bitch all over it. You could tell how much he hated Green Bay from when they had that playoff rivalry.
Oh my God, he's just insufferable.
And then, not to mention all the hot mic moments we caught between him and Buck that are questionable at best.
I like how you put that, questionable at best.
Yeah. Well, we have heard the rumors about Troy for a while now, but.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mary, he tried to be manly and shoot that Miller Lite commercial where he's at a gas station, a little Texas town, buying his 12-pack of Miller Lite.
It should have been White Claw. Hey, I just want to say, so yesterday, Ken, you were talking about this, about like the level of bias that Troy Aikman was showing, and that it was worse than usual. And I just thought, Ken's obviously he's a little upset about it, or he's like bringing it up because it was that obvious. I didn't listen to his commentary throughout the game, so I didn't know. But last night I was on the NFL subreddit, and there was a whole post about Troy Aikman's bias in this Bears game, and how it was like pretty ridiculous. And they weren't even a Bears fan; like they were another team's fan, and they were like, "Yeah, give any credit to the Bears for anything."
No, it was.
He needs to let the rivalry go. And
yeah, DeAndre Swift touchdown was luck. He should have done this. He should have done that. Oh, look, he got the first down, but he should have hit the home run ball. Oh, look, he should have done this. Oh, the Bears defense should have done that. Oh, look how great Jaden is. Everyone wants to sign in Washington because Jaden is just a fun guy. Blah, 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 slobbing the knob. I mean, Jesus, Troy Aikman. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's the most that team of Aikman and Buck is the most insufferable commentary team in football.
100%. I have thought that for about 10 years now.
But when Collinsworth starts glazing Mahomes, it's pretty bad too, dude.
But with Collinsworth, though, okay, like that going in it, he already has a love affair with Kermit the Frog. Got it. Everyone knows it, right? But he will be critical of Kermit if Kermit does something. He has done that. And he actually isn't insufferable. Because you can watch games with him and be like, okay, like you watch, like let's say, for instance, a Bears-Packers game on Monday Night Football. He'll actually be pretty good about both teams. He'll show some love. He'll show Caleb some love. He'll show Mahomes some love, even though he's not playing. But
that's what I was about to say. He'll find a way to work Mahomes in there.
At least he's like not just so obviously slobbing knobs the whole game. I love
the door.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. I mean, no, Luka. No, I mean, I'm sorry. They're terrible. There's no, even if they change their tune tomorrow, I'll be like, Caleb is my BFF. Yeah, whatever, dude. You're out of here. I mean, I don't want to have a commentator who's slobbering, any quarterback's knob.
Hey, man, he's not the best this year.
I want commentators who are actually just, calling the game and give the quarterback some love when they deserve it. Give them a little maybe this, that, the other when they deserve it. Give credit where credit's due. Give criticism where criticism is due. And if there's something that maybe we don't understand as fans, explain it. But I don't need a 3-hour love fest on Monday Night Football for one team over another from the commentating crew every week. And look, last week they're all over Jaden. Which Monday Night Football game are they calling this week?
Yeah, and Bill, to answer your question, we'll find out today.
Injury.
Relatively who will be back from injury.
So you've got the are they going to be doing the Bucks Lions game or are they doing the Texans Seahawks game? That's the question.
They'll probably end up doing the Bucks Lions.
That's the early game.
Well, yeah, but that one I think is going to have more eyeballs on it. So they're trying to.
Okay, that's the ABC game. So that's the ABC/ESPN game. So that's probably, you're right. They'll probably do Bucks Lions. I can already tell you they're gonna, they'll be slobbering over one team over the other. Can already tell you, and it'll probably be they're gonna be slobbering all over Baker, and they're gonna be dissing the Lions at every shot they get. Why? Troy Aikman. There we go. Troy Aikman hates the NFC North. I already know this was going to happen. He's going to sit there and say, "Oh, he'll say everything he can say bad about Goff, everything he can say bad about anyone on the Lions, and he is going to be like all over Baker." And I like Baker, but I'm sorry. I mean, Baker doesn't need that much love. Like at least call the game, somewhat objectively, but Troy can't do that.
Either that or we've got more than enough media type of personalities that are fan bases of pretty much each team. How about pair a commentator from each fan base?
I mean, look, we've already got a John Dorn, okay? And he's better than Aikman at being a troll. Like I give him a
I say we put Tony Romo on the game.
Hey, I'm all for having Romo call it.
I think Romo really needs to go to the national games. I mean, he gets the national games on CBS. I mean, Romo is good. He doesn't slob knobs. He calls plays before it goes off. You already know it. I mean, actually, as a commentator, he's like, all right, here's what the play is going to be. And then, that's what the play is. And so you kind of – it makes watching it a little bit easier. They're trying to figure out what's going on sometimes. Aikman,
and believe me, man, I totally get that. But, hey, maybe we'll stop seeing a little less bias, or at least we know that the bias is coming.
Right. Luca, you're killing me, man. Wow. Romo's good when he's drunk. Drinking them Coronas, man, at the Corona hotline. Get Gruden up there. Like, get Troy.
Believe me, I wouldn't mind having Gruden in the booth again, but I don't think the NFL is going to let that happen.
No, and he would just destroy Buck. Like,
because Baker Mayfield has proved it down here in Tampa Bay that he is one of the absolute legit top quarterbacks.
Yeah, Bill. Let's walk the dog back on this one. But he's been to three teams. So let's walk the dog here. Baker got hosed by Cleveland because they saw the shiny object by being Deshaun Watson and thought,
was he only shiny because of the massage oil?
Exactly. And they're like, ooh, we got a quarterback here who took us from obscurity to be a playoff team again, something we hadn't done in forever in Cleveland. And we won games all of a sudden with him. And we finally drafted a quarterback, number 1 overall, who's actually playing good. But look, there's this Deshaun Watson cat who was drafted. What was he drafted? And he's going to be awesome. Yeah, who cares that he's got like 36 pending court cases for sexual assault? We'll just sign him to the biggest contract in NFL history, fully guaranteed, and kick Baker to the curb. So, Baker, who's riding high, doing great little commercials for Progressive and everything, she's such a good egg. Now is like, emotionally just wrecked. He goes to where did he go next? He goes to a team where he's never going to be the starter.
Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina. An absolute suck
you
there.
Go to Carolina, which is a hot mess. No one does good in Carolina except for DJ Moore at this point. And then he goes off to the Rams to be a backup.
And he massively credits Sean McVay for his turnaround.
McVay gets his head right, and then says, hey, now go do great things. And he goes to Tampa, and they say, dude, you're our dude. We have all our faith and confidence in you, and that helps. It does. And Baker's being Baker again. He just took a little pause there for like a season and a half or so. And I don't blame him. I think anybody would probably have a little bit of an issue with the situation that went down. He's good. And he proves that he's good week in and week out. Probably the best quarterback in the league right now. Well, that's the thing. People are saying, like, who should the next coach of the Titans be? Like, there aren't any people. Like, really? There's a defensive coordinator in Minneapolis who is itching to get a head coaching gig again. And then I said, and you could just take whoever the OC is currently in on any given Sunday in Tampa and make them a head coach, because it seems whoever is a head coach, boom. Morning, Butters.
Oh, Joe Flacco was also considered elite. Granted, it was a long time ago, and it was a questionable elite, but he was up there.
Joe Flacco had a phenomenal defense, but he did play good ball.
People seem to forget
Yeah,
about that miracle run he had. That playoff run in 2012.
Yeah.
When he threw like 12
Eli.
touchdowns, no interceptions in the playoffs. And
But that's
remember
like
that
Eli.
that
Eli
miracle deep ball in Denver?
That's like Eli, though. That's like why Eli isn't in the Hall yet. Like Eli in the regular season was kind of pedestrian. But in the playoffs, like
Hold on. He was very
good.
pedestrian in the playoffs too, besides those 2 runs. Those 2 runs, he was awesome. I will not take that from him. But he sucked otherwise in the playoffs.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why he's having a hard time to get in the Hall of Fame. Even though he's probably got better numbers than Troy Aikman, too. I mean, the list of quarterbacks that have better career numbers with less games than Troy Aikman is astounding. Troy Aikman is in the NFL for one reason, the Hall of Fame for one reason and one reason only. That team won 3 rings on the back of Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have put Mitch Trubisky at quarterback there, and he would be in the Hall of Fame. And I like Mitch, but still, you could take any quarterback that you could probably put Johnny Manziel in that offense, and he'd be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
Okay, that might be a stretch.
I was gonna say I don't like the Mitch Trubisky one, but I'll give you a maybe with that one. Manziel, there ain't no way in hell he's gonna be dressed in full drag going out and doing coke in LA still.
What?
It was just from him wearing the wig. I was being dramatic with it.
Steve,
people like to act like Johnny Football couldn't play football just because he liked cocaine. Like, he could still play football. He just liked to do a little powder with his football. That's all I'm saying.
And not study an NFL defense for shit.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, man hour, why are you wasting that money, man? I mean, I get it. If you're getting them cheap, go, man. Because who knows, maybe they'll pan out.
Get them signed and they'll be worth money someday.
I got out of the football card market like in the 90s because it's so flooded. It'll crash again. It was a backup to that's a good question.
Good morning, Hoss.
Morning, Hoss. Yeah, by the way, tonight Big Hoss and I are gonna be seeing a lot of each other. He's gonna be on House Hall tonight, and I'm gonna be on his show because it's War Week against the Aints. I'll fire the first shot. The Aints. Yeah. Well, Edelman, yeah. There we go. We'll be legendary. There's actually a lot of good history with the Saints and the Bears playing each other too, actually. Yeah, I don't do cards, period. I bought one card and got it graded. And I bet you can bet I bet you know which one it is. You want to take a shot there, Ken?
Walter Payton?
Yep. Walter Payton.
I figured it was either going to be him or Justin Fields.
No, I wouldn't do Fields rookie card. I wouldn't pay money for that. Dude, I've got a signed mini helmet and a signed jersey. I'm into them both for a combined total of $10. So I think I did okay there.
You paid $30 too much.
I didn't even.
They should have paid you $20 to take it. Is what I'm saying.
I have two signed Charles Woodson rookie cards.
Dude, that's awesome.
Are they graded?
No,
they're
not graded.
Do they have COAs on them?
No, not yet. I got them signed personally, like at training camp. I never planned on selling them, so I didn't. Yeah. Why do I need to send them off for certification?
So here's my thought on that, real quick. Interesting stat there, Hoss. But here's the thing with signed mem. Even though you get it signed yourself, always get the COA. Yeah, it'll cost you $20 or whatever to get it done. But it's not because you're going to sell it. But one day when you leave this earth, one of your family members will probably inherit it. And so it can either end up in a trash bin because they don't know what it is. it could end up in a thrift shop, like say the Tom Brady signed football I paid only $75 for, or when I got the Sean Taylor mini helmet for $25, that was worth $8,000. You see, you know what I'm saying? So you get the COA so that when they inherit your stuff, oh, this might be worth a little something. Why does it have a certificate of authenticity? Let me check this out.
They can just bury me with mine.
Yeah. How wait, Luca's like getting the COA can be a giant scam?
Sometimes they can be faked.
Yeah,
So
you got to go
if you
through a
go-
reputable company like JSA or Beckett.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were doing JSA, PSA, Beckett, you know, there are, I mean, like, I get it with Fanatics. There's a lot of people have been faking the Fanatics hollows and stuff like that. But like, if you take it to JSA, you're not going to get scammed. You're not getting scammed. You know,
I when I look for mem that has hollows on it, I look for JSA or Beckett specifically. I trust those two companies.
yeah,
That's not to say they're the only ones. That's not the one. That's not to say they're the only ones that you can trust. They're just the ones that if I see a JSA or a Beckett hollow, I'm like, okay, that's legit. You know.
And the thing about JSA for like guys like us, they're the most accessible in terms of getting your stuff to them. Because like if you go to any Comic-Con, you go, you know, they're always there. They always have a booth at a Comic-Con or most major card shows or memorabilia shows. They always have a booth there, and you can get it done on the spot. You don't have to mail it in and wait. Like,
okay. Yeah, see, I didn't know you could just go up to the Comic-Cons and they had the booth there. Should I?
Yeah, like that.
When they have the next one, I think it's like in Syracuse or something like that, I might go to get my 2009 team ball certified.
I don't know if the COA would have gotten you more. The COA doesn't mean you're going to get more, but at least people know it's authentic, right? Man-hour, what is a Comic-Con? Well, you can go hit YouTube and Google or Grok and find that out. Man-hour.
It's where us fat nerds like to congregate.
Well, like, you know, like here in Pensacola, we don't have a Comic-Con. We have Pensacon, and they don't bring it. It's not comic book people per se, but it's like movie people too and stuff like that. I met George Wentz here. I met a couple pretty cool people here at the shows here. But the nice thing, like PSA, when I did PSA DNA to get the Walter Payton card graded, it took 7 months. 7 months. There you go, man-hour, just for you.
Oh God, yeah, I'm not that type of nerd. That's Ken.
Everyone knows this, even if you don't watch Star Trek, you know it.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
No, I can't believe he sold a ball with Ben Wallace and Rip.
Yeah.
For $20. Oh, dude.
And look, to be honest,
poor guy.
And honestly though, like if you don't get the COA, you know that's what you're going to deal with is you're going to get less money for it. Luca, I guess, doesn't check. You know, I mean, look, there's some COAs that have had issues. Field of Dreams had issues, and they're a major store in a lot of malls. They used to be. They got in hot water. I haven't really heard of Fanatics. I know have issues. PSA, I've never heard of issues with PSA about scamming people with them. Now maybe people are trying to copy their hollows because of
that's what it was.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean, Luca, that you shouldn't be looking for COAs. It just means you need diligence with your COAs.
And here's the thing also is, like, this is why I like Beckett, because Beckett puts a QR code on their hologram so you can scan the QR code and it brings you right into their database and shows you exactly when it was signed, who it was signed by, who witnessed it, everything.
Yeah, but so does Fanatics, though, and they still get forged the hollows. The problem is this. It's guys like – here's the problem. It's Fanatics is the problem because they've jacked up the prices on certain players so much that's created an easy way for guys to scam and make money. So, like, TB12, man, like just a signed 3x5 card is worth $2,500 for Brady. Brady's the most forged signature out there. And so look, if you can make $3,500 on a $70 football, you're going to try it. And these guys are, and that's where the problem became. So, PSA used to have a lot of Brady stuff, and now Fanatics does, and that's why they're the most problematic in terms of checking their. But like for Brady, though, for instance, there's a Facebook group that's dedicated just to Brady signatures, and they got 3 guys on there who are they know Brady signatures, and they'll tell you for like you pay them $10, you say, hey, is this legit? And they'll tell you, yeah, this is legit, or no, this is a fake. And you'd be surprised at how many people have Fanatic COAs and they're like, that's a fake. So with the more expensive stuff, you definitely got to pay attention. But if you're in the game, right, and you do a lot of collecting, there are certain signatures you can tell right away if they're fake or not because you see enough of the real deal that you know. Like Walter Payton's another one people try to fake because he's worth a lot of money, and I can usually spot a fake Payton auto like that. So, but yeah, I mean, you still want to get a COA on your sportsman, man. And it's not because you're going to sell it. It's because maybe your grandkids might sell it. You know what I'm saying? So at least maybe let them pay for college with all your sportsmen. Like, I'm not going to sell any of the stuff I have. I don't think Devin's ever going to sell it. His kids might sell it, though.
Oh, kid.
Well, we better be getting our cut in the mail soon here, Ken.
Yeah.
Hey, does the Joe bobblehead come with the Carlson Gracie beanie?
No, it comes with a tag of Timu Joe Rogan. Luca's got COAs for sale.
Yeah, but Beckett.
So
that's one of the things I like.
Telling you is do not.
I think
buy
Beckett guarantees. I think Beckett guarantees their certs though that their holograms are not reproducible. Like they have something specific about their holograms that you can't reproduce it.
And let's be honest, like, everyone always has this handy dandy little device called a phone with them. And like with any of these, you see an item that you're thinking of buying and it's got a cert, you can look the cert up and look at the certs always are jacked up on these fakes. Like they won't match. They'll like if it's a panel ball, it'll just say football, but no, it's supposed to say panel ball. Because when they put the certs in, they're pretty descriptive, right? Like it's a mini helmet signed on this day, blah blah blah, whatever. They the certs when you check the forges, either they're not in the system, or it's a mini helmet but it says full size helmet. It's like, well, then the cert doesn't match. So you still got to do a little bit of your own due diligence. And like Luca, that is something I can agree with you on. They are a scam company for the fans. Bullshit. They overpriced everything so much that the fans can't buy it. Like when Caleb, that whole rookie class, Caleb and all those guys, they wanted $450 for a mini. For a signed jersey with the inscription #1 pick, they wanted $1,500. I'm sorry. If I'm spending that much on a jersey, I'm going to get me like $500 more, and I'm going to get me a Brady. You know what I'm saying? For $450 for a mini, I could get a Peyton. Not a Peyton, Walter Payton, but like, Sheriff Peyton. Manning. I could get so many other players, Hall of Famers. I could get a Barry Sanders. I could get a Megatron. I can get, there are a lot of really good. I could get a Drew Brees. I mean, I could get a Ray Lewis. I'm gonna get probably 2 Ray Lewis.
Actually, for 480,
this before.
I was just gonna say for 480, you could actually get a Barry and somebody else. Like, because I saw Barry Sanders speed helmet, speed mini for $225.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it was
like,
30.
well, this was at the time though that this is before Caleb even played a down, before Jaden Daniels even played it down. All these guys with Fanatics, they overprice everything. They jack the prices up and they ruin it for fans. And I am Fanatics is the worst company on the planet for fans. If you buy stuff from Fanatics, congratulations, you just got scammed.
Yeah, Bill, I'm good off the Kirk Cousins trade deadline thing for the Raiders, man. We don't need to take on that contract. Like I've said it before, but maybe some guys didn't hear it. I think the Raiders are just fine right now with what they got. Like, not that they're winning a lot of games, but having Geno Smith right now is a win-win for us because either he's going to turn it around and he's going to play up to that contract and we're going to be competitive, maybe not a playoff team this year, but competitive, or he's going to continue to suck and we're going to get a top 5 pick. So he did his job because he'll be out next year and the Raiders will be starting a rookie quarterback. So it's win-win.
So who's the first fire sale? Is it going to be the Titans?
I would assume maybe not a full fire sale, but they might trade away a couple of guys.
Dude, thrift shops are a place to go, Luca. I'm saying because thrift shops don't know what they've got.
Who are they going to trade though?
No shit there, Luca. Hold on 1 second. Just for shits and giggles, how much would you be willing to part with that? Because that's my old man's favorite quarterback.
$500.
That ain't happening.
No, but see, that's the thing. Actually, that's like the barnyard find. That's how I found the Brady and the Sean Taylors. It was a thrift shop, and they didn't know who the signatures were. They just knew they were signed. And when I bought the Sean Taylor, I was just looking for a Redskins mini because I didn't have one, and I wanted one because remember this when they're doing the Commanders, the Washington football team thing. I wanted to find one, and I'm like, well, and they gave it to me for $25. I'm like, I didn't even know who the signature was at the time because you don't see many Sean Taylors. And I went and looked it up, and I was like, oh my god, I just got an $8,000 helmet for $25.
Yeah, I never got nothing like that. But I was at a thrift store and I saw this plaque that had it had a card and not an 8x10, maybe an 8x10 or something, a photo, and it had a few other pictures on it, and it was signed by Will Clark. You remember from the Giants, Will the Thrill? Yeah. And they wanted $30 for it, but I didn't have the $30. I was like, I would have took that in a heartbeat, man, because I grew up watching Will Clark. He was my favorite player as a kid.
Oh, there you go, Ken.
Well, there, Luca. I'll be getting a hold of you then, because that sounds like a hell of a deal to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's friends helping
You'll
friends.
make the old man happy. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, and that's awesome of you, Luca, to have him donate to a children's hospital. That's right on for you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the Giants are going to be fire selling. Bill said the Giants will be a fire sale with the Titans.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so, especially with them just beating the Eagles. Because even if they to walk the dog here, even if they don't win another game the rest of this season, they're gearing up, expecting next season to take a huge step.
Well, let me say this for the Giants, the Titans, and the Titans specifically. I think that because they have offensive line issues both. If they've got pieces on defense that are going to be big contracts or contracts they don't want to spend money on in the offseason, you might see them get traded off for draft capital, anywhere, depending on the player, anywhere from a second rounder to a seventh rounder, honestly. The Titans have a couple guys who aren't going to be re-signed for the $7 or $8 million they'll cost because they got enough depth. And so, we'll trade them off and get a fifth rounder and just, draft more depth at the O-line, which is a good place to get depth because, oh, wait, what round was Zach Tom? Fifth round, right? You get a lot of good line. You can get a lot of good linemen. They're not going to help you next year, but 2 years down the road, they're going to be starters. 2 or 3 years down the road. That's the funny thing with the offensive line. So I think both those teams will sell off some defensive pieces and maybe even a couple of offensive pieces if they've got the spare.
I don't think they do. Well, the
I don't
Titans.
think it's going to be. I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think they do either. Neither of them have an abundance of wide receiving talent or running back talent. But they may get rid of some offensive linemen that they're not planning to retain because they're going to replace them in the offseason, whether it be via free agency or draft. Like if they've got a tackle that's for them's not working but will fit in another system, they can make some money and they have a guy that's going to work better for them in the pipeline or something. You might see that. Miami needs to do a lot.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of in a weird way fire selling in free agency. They haven't been re-signing free agents that they've let go. That's been their problem. They let a lot of talent leave without getting anything for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their problem. But yeah, their problem.
Rumor is Bradley Chubb is on the trading block for the Dolphins.
There, you know what, Ken, you're laughing at Fred's comment, but there is a huge market for stuff like that.
I'm not surprised.
There's a big
with a lot
market.
With a lot of these murderers, especially if they were famous, they get quite the following.
Fred,
it just made me wonder, like, what's the going rate on like a signed Mark Shimura jersey? Like $5.
I was gonna say it depends. Is it located near a hot tub? Is it adult jersey? Is it jersey?
I have seen a few Hernandez things on the market, and they go pretty quick and pretty expensive.
Damn, he said they should trade Caleb Williams to the Dolphins for Tua.
No, they want Jordan Love, but unfortunately, the Packers were asking for some whey in a blender, and they didn't have the blender available in Miami because it's being used for the snow on the beach.
Man, a blender full of Miami snow. Holy shit. That sounds like a freaking party.
Yeah, well, I mean, the jerseys, but we're talking, you're talking you want a signed one, right? They're out there. They are out there, but they're expensive. I
think the Titans might. I mean, there's a possibility they could end up trading Simmons. Like he's really like the only marquee player they have on the. I mean, well, they have one more on their defense. They have two guys that you could, I guess, consider like marquee players. So I mean, if they were looking to get some draft capital, Simmons would probably be a good trade candidate.
They might have.
I just don't know.
Some of the depth guys might go because, like, a team like the Bears might be looking for a depth guy at cornerback, for example. They don't need a marquee guy, but they want a depth guy at corner. Or the Packers need a depth guy at corner because they'll at least shore their
not a depth guy. We've got enough depth guys. We need a starter.
Oh, better depth guys. If you can make your team better in any way, shape, or form, right? I mean, there are some guys. I think the Titans and the Giants, Miami too. Actually, Miami's got a couple guys too. It doesn't just have to be the premier guys, that the names that get thrown around, like Achane. Like, yeah, they could probably get a second-round pick for Achane, but Achane's young, and if they're going to do a quick rebuild with a new coach, they might want to keep Achane, even though the lifespan of a running back seems to be 3 or 4 years, and that's it. But
nah, Luca, you got to double that.
Yeah, no doubt, Luca.
It's for Dorn's human suit.
Yeah, I mean. Well, that's the other team. Like, I don't know if the Jets are going to be. Breece Hall hasn't demanded one yet.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to get rid of Garrett Wilson.
No,
because to me he seems like he's kind of a staple for the Jets. But I could actually see them moving on from Sauce. And
not this year.
No, not this year.
They just signed a new contract. They're dead cap on that contract. I mean, maybe it's worth taking a look at, Ken, if you want to try to pull up the contract.
Well, when you trade, though, it changes the dead cap number, though, too, for them. But
yeah, but he just signed it this last year. So
yeah, that bonus will dead cap for a year. They would have some dead cap. Good morning, Darren. They'd have some dead cap for a year or so because of whatever bonus they had already paid that was spread out. They'd have dead cap on, unless they can get that in the trade back. And there's all kinds of weird stuff that can go on with that. But Sauce, I don't think he's going anywhere. I agree with you, Joe. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah. See, I don't know if the Raiders are going to be buyers at the trade deadline. Like, I don't think they want to give up draft capital.
They might sell, though.
I think they might sell Jacoby Myers, actually.
They might sell some guys because, well, Sauce can shop all he wants. It doesn't matter what Sauce does. It matters what the team does. But for the Raiders, going back to Joe, to your team, I think they might be, because like teams that have a first-year head coach and aren't doing well, sometimes they sell because, you know, like Pete Carroll might have a bunch of guys that are okay football players, but they're not his kind of guys. So he'll trade them off to get capital or his kind of guys in there to improve that team for next year. Yeah, John, no lie there. Who's playing this week for the Vikings?
They haven't figured out which hot dog vendor yet.
Are they going with Ginger 2 or is JJ back?
Ginger 2. My God, I swear to God, that's now Carson Wentz's name.
Ginger number 2.
They should just trade for Justin Fields.
Oh man, I know you don't like the Vikings, but you don't need to do that to them.
Hey, Steve, hold on. Props to Steve on the Chris Jericho throwback too. Again, but I disagree. I think Justin Fields is playing as well as he can for that Jets team with that offensive line that they have. Like
running for his life.
Yeah, he's really not being given much help.
Yeah, no.
Russell Wilson isn't perfect for anything besides the cuck chair.
He's perfect to be out of the league at the end of this year is what he's perfect.
Yeah, I don't. If they traded for Russell Wilson, I would be pissed.
That's the only way you get worse than Geno.
You know, Darren, yeah, Flores would love Sauce, but Flores is also probably not be a Viking coach next year. I think Flores takes the head coaching gig this year.
Man, I don't know, because you know he's got the active lawsuit against the NFL there.
It should be over this year, though.
Yeah, but I kind of got the feeling that it might be a while if he gets a head coaching job because of you put up this big stink against us for X, Y, and Z reason. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he's right. I'm just saying. But I can see him sticking around with Minnesota for a little bit more.
I could see that, but I could also see the opposite happening, Ken. I could also see the NFL saying, look, we can get rid of the whole basis of his case right now by giving him a head coaching job. Like, how's he going to be able to sit here and say that we're racist and we're trying to keep him down if he's now a head coach while he's actively suing us? Like, to me, it makes sense. Like, give him the Titans or,
and kind of damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, because if he doesn't try to get the head coaching job, they'll say, look, all these people are wanting him as a head coach, but he's refusing to do it only because of a lawsuit. Because he wants to prove a point. So he disproves his point. So he's in a rock and a hard place. Hey, real quick on the Flacco comment. Flacco won't go to the Raiders because they don't play Green Bay this year.
And I thought the point was to get better. Like, Flacco is not Flacco anymore. And I don't like Geno throws a lot of picks, but Geno can still throw the football like down the field. Like, granted, it's into the other team's hands, but I'm just saying, like,
he's got a hell of an arm on him. He just can't complete it to his team.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think the Raiders will stand pat at quarterback. If they were going to make a quarterback change, I think that they would consider benching Geno and putting Kenny Pickett in, just because at this point, no, I know it sounds crazy, right? But somebody brought this up on the Raiders subreddit last night, and it actually makes a lot of sense. Like, in order for Kenny Pickett to play worse than Geno Smith, he would have to throw 3 interceptions a game. Like,
I could see that, or him fumbling the ball 4 or 5 times a game.
But then that's what I'm saying. Then at that point, it's like, okay, well, then you go back to Geno, and you know, like, that's all I'm saying. I'm not advocating for putting in Kenny Pickett. I'm just saying, like, there is a contingent of Raider fans that are saying we should be starting Pickett because as bad as he is, he's not going to play as bad as Geno is right now.
You know what? Let me go back up to this comment up here, because this is why I was giving that look, Joe, not because of what you're saying. Because maybe thinking was Zadarius Smith retiring abruptly in the middle of the season like he did. It begs the question, one of two things. Either one, is there an injury there that we didn't know about that's kind of like forcing him to do it? Or are the Eagles that dysfunctional in that locker room? in that organization.
There's a third one. Is Zadarius just that much of an asshole? Because I think that's the one. I think he thought he was going to walk into the Super Bowl with the Eagles, and now that they lost 2 in a row, he took his ball and went home.
Well, I mean, okay, but that would lend more to the other question of what's going on in the Eagles organization. That okay, you take 2 straight losses, and now Zadarius Smith retires on you. Like just taking the 2 losses, I don't look at that. It happens. He's been around the league long enough. He's been through a 2-game skid before, and they come back and win 6 more in a row. It's not. I don't think that's necessarily it. I'm wondering if there's something else going on in that Eagles camp.
Well,
because he's leaving a lot of money on the table too. These guys don't like to leave millions of dollars on a table just because we might not make the Super Bowl. He'll be like, whatever, I'll just stick it out, collect my $8 million and retire. No, this guy said, I don't care about my $8 million or however much it was. I'm just done. What else is the problem in Philly?
Well, there might be a 4th option then. He didn't want to get run over by Scadaboo again.
I actually, so that 4th option, Ken, I think even though I don't think it's as specific as what you're saying, like he didn't want to get run over by Scadaboo again. I think that the argument, like he's physically washed. And I think there's a possibility that because he hasn't been playing well, that the Eagles were like, hey, dude, we're like going forward, you're not going to be a starter. And so he's like, okay, well, I'm going to take my ball and go home then. Like he doesn't want to sit on the bench. You know, he has an ego like players do. And I think it's possible at least that the Eagles were like, look, dude, you're not really helping us at this point. And so he's like, all right, well, I'm going to just call it a career then.
I mean, he had a sack and a half this season. So you'd be perfect for the Bears because we don't get sacks. But I mean, I'm just there's more to that story. Put it that way. And part of it though, because the Eagles aren't Eagles, right? We've heard they've had dysfunction. We know it because look at their head coach and flicking off the fans and everything else. Darren, he's retired. He's not going back anywhere. He can't go back anywhere without compensation being given. Put it that way. And then even then, the Eagles can say, nope, we're not going to allow it at all, period. But I'm just wondering if there's more dysfunction in this Eagles camp that maybe, we don't look at. We see the tip of the iceberg. We're not seeing the 90% under the waterline, right?
Yeah.
So what else is going on in Philly that Zadarius just threw the money out the door?
It very well could have been that last year everything just went perfectly for them and went their way. Because don't forget, before they had that run last year, before they went on the bye last year, we were asking if their head coach was going to be on the hot seat and fired in season, not even make it to the end of the season. So you could be onto something there with that.
Well, and the year before, think about the way they finished the year before, right? They lost like 6 straight games or something like that. Was like on the verge of being fired. He lost the locker room. Then all of a sudden last year they managed to like get it together and win a Super Bowl. Well, but maybe those issues that they had with Sirianni never really went away. It's just like they say, winning is the best deodorant. You know what I mean?
Think about it. A.J. Brown demands a trade. Right? There's other things going on here that we know of. A.J. Brown wants out. He wants to be traded. They have too much tush push in the locker room without John, so John's mad. But you know what I mean? Like there's something else going on in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like, are we starting to see the beginning of the wheels falling off in Philly?
I think it's a little early to say that, honestly. Like they showed last year that they can overcome a bad stretch. Maybe they're having a bad stretch right now. But I do think that part of it is last year they rode Saquon to a Super Bowl. Like, I don't think that anybody can say that they didn't. And this year it's like they've been having to rely, or like they've been in a position where people are, they're defending, they're setting their whole strategy to like, okay, we're not going to let you ride Saquon over us. So now they're like more of the game is in Hurts's hands, and he's,
You're finding out that he's really Steve Urkel?
Well, instead of Stephon Urkel.
A.J. Brown and Darren,
he's looking more like Cousin Myrtle at this point.
we talked about where AJ Brown could go like a week or two ago. He's problematic because of his contract, and a team that could really use him, saying, "Well, we're not going to go after a receiver right now," being the Giants, and of course they're also in division, so that won't happen.
Actually, I don't think his contract is unreasonable at all. I think, remember, we were talking about it last week. He went through the numbers. He's making like 23, then like 25. I mean, that's right.
No, that's DJ.
That's right where he should be.
DJ Moore is making consistent money. Let me look up AJ Brown again.
Yeah, AJ Brown's contract is actually really good for the next 4 or 5 years. Like, I could see a team wanting to take him on at the trade deadline. I just don't think the Eagles are going to do it.
So
Yeah.
he
I don't see the
signed
Eagles getting rid of him.
He is signed through. Well, there's cap numbers on this guy through 2030. His cap number this year is 17. Yeah, you're right. Okay, it was 23 mil, or we'll call it 24 and 26. We'll call it just over 22 and a half and 27.
Darren, if
27 and a
AJ
half
Brown
in one
goes to
game.
Buffalo, to me they're the absolute favorite in the NFC.
29 and 29. And then the void year's got a $53 million cap hit in it in 30.
Yeah. So they've got, if you were a team that's looking for a receiver, you could literally get a number one for below market value for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Now,
And since Darren brought it up, that almost sounds like a match made in heaven for Buffalo.
Now here's a problem on dead cap.
I don't think Buffalo could take on his contract.
According to Over the Cap, his dead if they traded him this year, they take on $59.8 million in dead cap, and their cap goes negative $42 million.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll do it.
The Eagles might not be able to absorb that.
Yeah.
That's the problem right there.
Yeah, unless they got a huge amount of draft capital. And
Philly has 11.6 million in cap this year, and for 26 right now they have 33 million. So if they don't do anything else, that gives them about 44 million. For next year, they could eat that. For next year, they have the space to eat. Because next year, if they trade them pre-June 1st, they go to 49 million negative and have 72 million in dead cap. Because when you trade the guy, you eat all your dead cap at once. You know, that prorated hits you at once.
But couldn't they spread that dead cap hit out over the next few years?
Yeah, there's some weird rules and stuff. So I mean, it's not like it looks daunting, but there are ways around it. You're right, Joe. There are ways around
especially
it.
With Howie Roseman.
The Buffalo Bills have $2 million in cap space right now. But look at But let me just say this: if they wanted to make room, let me see if they got restructuring possibilities. If they restructure Dawson Knox, they can save 6.2. They can save another 4.8 for Daquan Jones, restructuring him, and really that's all they've got in restructures.
They can't do Josh Allen.
No, Josh Allen. They would save no money on a restructure for him. Yeah, zero. Now, if they do an extension for someone, now the numbers stay the same.
Yeah, I don't think Buffalo is a serious. They're a serious candidate as far as need, but I don't think their cap situation would allow it. But if the Eagles were actually interested in trading AJ Brown, if I was the Raiders, I would definitely make an offer. Like, why not? You've got. Jacoby Myers wants $30 million a year, and he's nowhere near the player AJ Brown is. Like, I would definitely. I would at least make a phone call, and the Raiders have the cap space to take on that. The contract.
I wouldn't say never because there are ways around that, right? So, for instance, if the Buffalo Bills said, "Look, we'll give you a first rounder for AJ Brown, and you eat X amount of cap," like dollars turns into pick. Right, so let's say it's going to be a second round pick for him. They say, "Look, we want it. You're willing to give him up for a second round pick, but we don't have the money. If you eat X portion of that contract, then we'll give you a first rounder." and then that's how that happens.
If I'm Buffalo, I'm doing that in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they may even have to go, we'll give you our first next year and our second the year after. It could be something stupid like that. And feel like, wow, A.J. Brown was worth a first and second. No, A.J. Brown was worth a second where they got an additional first so they'd eat cap.
But for Buffalo, it makes perfect sense because you're in a window now. You're not building for the future. You're in a window now. Make the move that's going to put you over the top, especially by the trade deadline. If I'm Buffalo, like I'm on the phone with Howie Roseman, and I'm like, hey, dude, like, what's it going to take to get A.J. Brown over here, like, draft wise? Because for the next 2 to 3 years, fuck them picks. You're in a window, dude. Like,
Steve,
that's my opinion.
welcome to the NFC North, man. The from first to fourth, the look at from first to second, it's a half game. From first to fourth, it's one game. So right, if the Packers lose this week, the worst they could finish though. Here's a weird thing: if everyone in the division loses and the Bears win, the Bears would go from worst to first. The Packers would literally just move to second because they'd still be a half game up on Detroit and Minnesota because of the tie.
Man, A.J. Brown to Kansas City, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
No,
Joe, I'm with you. I
we
don't want to
wouldn't.
see that one either.
Well, the Bears wouldn't. Why would we? Don't need A.J. Brown. We don't. He's not a need. The receiver is not something the Bears are going to be trading for anytime soon. So, if anything, you might be looking for another corner. Because Nahshon Wright, he's been admirable. He's done a good job this season for the Bears. But if there's better, they'll go there. And of course, Bears fans want to complain about an edge rusher. But here's the we only got a few minutes, and I'll just say this really quick. Oh, the Bears aren't getting sacks. Okay, what would you guys rather have, sacks or turnovers? From your defense.
I'd rather have turnovers.
I was going to say if I'm forced to pick, I'd probably go turnovers too.
Yeah, so the Bears only had one sack in the game, but they had 3 turnovers. They're averaging, in the 2 games prior, they had 4 turnovers per game. I'll take the turnovers they're generating over the sacks every day of the week.
Mhm.
Because a turnover means you get the ball. A sack, look at the Bears got their 1 sack and made it 3rd and 13, and they still gave up a first down. But you get a turnover, they're not getting a first down. You're getting the ball. So I think if the Bears do anything in the trade deadline, maybe edge, because that's what Bears fans want me to say. But maybe I think that if they could find a corner with JJ being out, they might go for a corner, which makes Ken mad because he wants a corner too.
Nah, you don't need a corner, man.
See?
Go for that edge rusher. That's way more important for you.
And if the Bears don't do anything, they'll just carry that $8 million over to next year that they freed up in JJ's contract this year. So, I don't know if the Bears are going to do anything. But
Wait, are you saying the Bears are going the Ted Thompson method to see who can roll over the most money for the next year?
No, we only had like $1 million. Then we freed up. We made $8 million by restructuring JJ's contract, but. No, they wouldn't get Chase Young because his contract is stupid. His contract is stupid, Darren.
Mm-hmm. $20 million.
Almost all the Saints' contracts make these guys untradeable.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
It's just
Saints are never going to start that rebuild, dude.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like watch. By the end of the season, you're gonna hear like Chase Young is being extended.
Well, they have to do something because his contract next year it starts to balloon up. Like he's cheap this year and he gets expensive.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're gonna extend him to make him cheaper so they can keep him longer.
Yeah.
Instead of doing what we all know they need to do. It's like they need to rebuild.
But
I know they need to rebuild.
It makes a guy like Chase Young, Alvin Kamara. These are names you'll hear thrown around for trades, but makes them untradeable because the contracts are so ridiculously bad in the upcoming years in terms of how much they balloon. The Saints made those deals for the now, thinking they were in some kind of window, and we'll figure it out later. Well, guess what? They're going to have a lot of figuring out to do because these contracts are starting to balloon, and they're untradeable because these guys aren't producing.
And their window has a brick wall in front of it.
Yeah. So that being said, today's a busy day. I'll see you tonight on Hallis Hall Report, and then I'll be on with with Big Hoss on his show, and then we've got JB's Roundtable. We've also got Red Zone Rant. We've also got Emma Maniacs today. So, guys, we've got a full day of podcasts. Enjoy your hump day. And, that's a good one, Darren. We'll maybe talk about that one later. We'll see you all here tomorrow. Thank you, Aaron, for joining. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.